Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to play round 2 with this old school Jeskai Geist deck. This is very similar to a list that I played over the weekend at my local F&M. It was kind of bittersweet because I won, but it's going to be the last F&M I'm going to be able to attend here in Geneva, Switzerland before I spend a month in the United States before eventually making my way over to London. And I played a little bit different list because I couldn't find my 4th Electrolyze. I don't know where it is, but instead of the 4th Electrolyze, I just threw a Pia and Kira. Is it Pia and Kiran Nalar? I threw one on the list, and actually it performed quite well. And then I had a Worm Coil Engine in the sideboard instead of this second Disdainful Stroke. I did win a game with the Worm Coil Engine against the Black-Red Hollow One deck. I was able to. He kind of had a slow hand, and I was able to buy enough time to play that creature, which I don't think they can beat. If I was gonna continue playing this list, I can't imagine it's correct to play without Serum Visions. As much as I like Serum Visions, it's kind of fun not to be wasting time with it. Just be like, I don't know, remand, draw a card, electrolyze, draw a card. But if I wasn't going to continue not to run it, I probably would just make this P and Q and LR just to make the deck a bit more diverse. But really, if I wanted to try to continue with a more mid-range strategy, which I don't necessarily dislike. I don't dislike having a mid-range strategy game 1 and then having more counters game 2 and being more controlling if we need to be. But yeah, I would probably make that Electrolyze a Pia. Anyway, let's see how game 2 goes, or round 2 goes. See you in a second. Alright, kicking things off here for game 1, we have an obvious mulligan. This hand really needs a threat. It's important to remember with this deck that you are actually worse at going long than the tempo version of the deck. You don't have cryptic commands for a late game. You really need to try, and you can't play the deck like a traditional control deck. You have to, this is kind of one of the things I tired of from playing this deck back in the day, which is your control game plan just isn't so great. The deck had remands, and a lot of times it didn't even have a cryptic command, so you kind of had to constantly stay proactive and just be lightly disruptive and hope that was good enough. And the problem with hands like these is that I'm gonna keep it, but the scry makes it a little bit better. Snapcaster Mage. I guess that counts as a card, and I'd rather draw that than a land, so I'll keep it on top. But the problem with hands like these is just that when you don't have threats, the deck doesn't operate very well, basically. All right, Blood Crypt, Bloodstained Mire, probably going to play against Bedlam Reveler deck. This is all I've been playing against online lately. I actually think this particular deck, has the tools to be relatively competitive with that deck. I feel like I've been about 50-50 with it. Having the main deck, it's going to be Young Pyromancer that we're not going to have an answer to. Oh, convenient. So we'll just save that and just go ahead and Helix this while we can. Having like 3 or 4 Electrolyzes in the deck to clean up all these Young Pyromancer tokens and fight against Lingering Souls and things like that. Give this version of the deck an edge that normally it doesn't have, and then they're never really expecting Thundermaw. Blood Moon is going to be probably just game. I guess there's a chance. I mean, our blue requirements aren't as high as they typically are. We're probably just dead, but I guess there's some chance that we could draw, say, like an island and then maybe do some things, like play a Geist, but yeah, I got Blood Mooned 2 or 3 times playing against this deck. turn Pyromancer. We'll just discard this cryptic command. And I was able to win a few games by getting Blood Moon, being sad about it, and then just managed to draw Thunder Maws, kill all their Lingering Souls tokens, and alright, well, we'll bolt that dude. I'll probably take our snap. See, like, obviously this is a bad position, but, you know, if we... There's, like, 4 Electrolyzes in this version, so if we manage to draw Electrolyze... And it's weird that he took the click. We can't even... We're, like, so far away from casting that card. I don't know. And we're just one island away from being able to, like, snap Helix. Guess we'll just fire this path off. There's also got Lingering Souls now. I mean, if we get another land into play and can draw a Thundermaw Hellkite, kill these Lingering Souls tokens, Thundermaw versus Elemental is probably going to win. Man, just a little too slow. I wonder if he's holding on to something like a Terminate, Fatal Push, or Dreadbore. Let's see, how do we win this? I think I have to bolt a token. Like, I don't have enough to, like, bolting his face is gonna, you know, I'll only effectively take 1 this turn, but then my follow-up is just what? I am going to take the extra 1, though. In case he, I don't know, plays something like a Young Pyromancer, I'd rather kill that. I can save myself 1 damage, which isn't that big of a deal. So if I kill, like, an Elemental token and then I draw an Electrolyze, then I can, you know, there's only going to be 1 token left, and I'm in a better position than if I Helix him and then Electrolyze him. So... And I want to kill the Elemental because there's a good, you know, there is a chance that we just draw Thundermaw and can kill these 2 spirits. Alright, so let's go ahead and kill an Elemental since he didn't play something like a Young Pyromancer. That's not the draw we were hoping for. Just going to yield here. There's not really much for, well, obviously nothing for me to do, so does have a Pyromancer. Electrolyze would still be great. Ooh, and we drew 1. Let's go ahead and upkeep this guy. Okay, I mean, that is a card that is not a land. Doesn't match up too well against these spirits, but maybe we'll just get real lucky and draw an Electrolyze. His hand's got to be, he's got to have some removal spells. Now, Thunderbolt off the top would just be sick. Alright, well, I'm not going to attack our Geist into the spirit tokens. This is a good example's the right word. All right, well, I guess it just has removal and doesn't have anything to use it on. Sick. Let's Helix now, this guy, and see if he makes a token in response. He'd bolt us, make another token. He's going to push the Pyromancer so that we don't gain life and make a token. That's annoying. I guess I better block this Pyromancer. Alright. Okay, against this Pyromancer deck. Well, I definitely want to bring in this Engineered Explosives. I definitely want to bring in the Is It Staticaster. I want to bring in this Relic of Progenitus. I'm going to bring in the Celestial Purge. I probably want to bring this in. Now, the current plan that they're on, which is hella annoying, is to Blood Moon you and then try and draw their two Molten Rains, blow up your basic lands. Things I'm not sure that I want. I don't want these clicks. I think they match up really poorly against Lingering Souls. Probably with this Keranos as well. Things to consider taking out. Maybe this Cryptic Command. I want the Cryptic Commands to fight the long game against his Bedlam Revelers, but I also kind of like making it so that if we can get, an island and a plains, we're in relatively good shape. 2 islands would be better. There's no way we're gonna get. There is no way that we're gonna get 3 islands in this version of the deck. Obviously. What else doesn't seem great? Helix is a bit harder to cast under Blood Moon. I can probably trim a couple. I still have 4 bolts for the young Pyromancer. Killing that creature is very important, though. I don't want to cut any of this business. This probably is okay here. This is a matchup I'm still kind of trying to figure out. Subtle Wreckage is obviously really good as well, but oh, that didn't come in. I don't know how reasonable it is to be playing double white cards against the Blood Moon deck. I mean, partly I just, I don't want him to resolve Blood Moon. Could be, you know, negate actually is another consideration. It both fights Blood Moon as well as potentially timely hand disruption and the first half of Lingering Souls, which we can then clean up with Electrolyze. We could probably trim a couple of these Geists. Maybe even this. Yeah, I think, and if we were going to trim all of the Geists, what if we just trimmed that Geist? I think this is probably okay. Let's give this a shot. Disdainful Stroke even can counter. Let's try this and see if it's worth bringing in this Disdainful Stroke to maybe counter Bedlam Reveler. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep this. I'm going to lead on Sulfur Falls to start. Don't like having a 5-drop, but... also going to get a Plains with this Floodistran. Well, actually, I'm not going to get anything unless we need to. I'd like to cycle away this Remand, though. Takes an EE. Alright, smell a Lingering Souls. Alright, that's a Snapcaster Mage. Let's play this. Tempted to remand this. Opens us up to getting Blood Moons next turn, but we need to cycle and try to find another land. I guess we just let it go and see if he plays an Inquisition or something like this. If he Faithless Lootings and then gets a Black Source and Inquisitions, he's most likely, I think at that point trying to... well, there's another copy of Lingering Souls. I think I'm going to hold on to this Remand, actually. Just hope that we get lucky here with a land drop. Okay, that's great from a Blood Moon standpoint. I mean, we could get it taken, but I feel a little bit more incentivized now to get a Plains here. He knows about the Remand, though, so he may not cast this Lingering Souls. Nile Spellbomb. Okay. Okay, we're in much better shape now. I'm tracking there just because I want to have my mana available. If I need to like remand something, keep up Purge. I really want to remand this game, I'd really like to... Can he beat Koronos? So obviously, if we remand this, then he gets to flashback Lingering Souls. We can't remand that. But he's not. If we don't, I don't think he's going to cast the Lingering Souls anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna remand that. I want to remand into another land to try to cast this Koronos. Yep. Alright, let's keep this land up. Alright. So we have 2 great 5-drops. If it goes for Blood Moon, I'm just going to probably let it resolve, get a Plains here. I want to snap remand. Well, I'm not going to be able to snap remand anything with this Nile Spellbomb, actually. It's been unfortunate. That'll have to get dealt with. Did you play a land this turn? He didn't. I think I have to let this happen. Like, I'd really like to... is he just going to flash back? Maybe I should have just shot it immediately. What I'm worried about is land Blood Moon. But also kind of not great is Faithless Looting, discard Lingering Souls, cast Lingering Souls, trigger Red Young Pyromancer. That I think if we can draw a land, I'll just play this Thundermaw Hellkite. Mop up all these spirit tokens. Let's assume that he discards Lingering Souls here and casts it. We'll get a white for... He did not. Is this going to be land Blood Moon? Because he doesn't know about the Celestial Purge. If he goes... Alright, he didn't. I would be just going to say, if he goes land Blood Moon, I will be so glad that I didn't... That I was patient. Alright, well, we're playing a 5-drop next turn. Play the Colonnade Sago. If he doesn't make any follow-up plays... This is going to be a... Yeah, I was going to say, I think this is going to be a Bedlam Reveler. It's so annoying, we can't snap remand it. He's not gonna crack this. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna play Snapcaster Mage, target remand, let him crack the Nile Spellbomb, one of the reasons is I don't want him to untap, and I don't want him to draw a Thoughtseize and take either of these threats if I can help it. And what I think probably gives us the greatest long-term chance of success is to untap, play Koranos, because that Koranos can do a good job of catching up, killing all the spirit tokens and everything. And then if we can draw one more dodge, one more discard after that, play this Thundermaw Hellkite, kill all the spirit tokens, and then really kill our opponent. But I want him to also, the other benefit to potentially to playing the Snapcaster Mage into Remand is that, he cracks the spell bomb. We go ahead and purge the Bedlam Reveler, but then we still have a Snapcaster Mage in the hand, and at that point we have a Celestial Purge in the graveyard. So we have a little bit of insurance against something like Blood Moon. So I fully expect him to crack the spell bomb, like I said. Chooses not. Oh, I know. I guess he chooses not to draw a card. I wasn't thinking because he'd have to discard it anyway. Well, I guess if he draws a Thoughtseize, in either case, our hand will be forced. All right, let's go ahead and purge this. Let's play Koranos. And let's pass the turn back. So I don't think he's going to have a way to remove the Koranos. I would actually trade a Snapcaster Mage for an Elemental token, primarily because right now the most important thing to my mind is to buy as much time as possible so that Koranos can win the game. If this is a Lingering Souls, it's going to be so good when we play this Thundermaw Hellkite. So hopefully what will happen here is that Koranos will trigger. We can kill the young Pyromancer. If Koranos doesn't trigger, that means he's drawing us a land, which means we can kill the Pyromancer anyway. Okay, cool. Drew us, let's see. He's going to follow up with the Lingering Souls that will then chump our Hellkite. But I wish I had one more land to also Helix the Pyromancer as opposed to I don't think we want to take 4 from all these spirits. Yeah, I don't like. I still have a Snapcaster Mage, so I'm going to play the Mountain. I'm going to play the Thundermaw and just path the young Pyromancer and get that out of the way right away. Then I'm just facing down 2 elemental tokens. It gives him another land, but whatever. If he does play Bedlam Reveler, I do have, like, if he has some hand disruption, I still have an answer to it. And if he doesn't, I have Snap, Purge, and, you know, that kind of thing. So kill those dudes, pat that dude, attack for 5. I mean, we could even just get supremely lucky and draw a Restoration Angel. Although if we draw a Restoration Angel, I am not going to cast it. If he had no cards in hand, I would. But what I prefer to do when I have a Restoration Angel and Thundermaw on the battlefield, even if they play blockers, is just start attacking and then wait for them to find removal and blink it in response. That's cool, drawing us through these lands. Another Snapcaster Mage is great. So let's see. Let's just start by attacking. So if I wanted to Helix, Snap, Helix, I have the mana to do that. If I wanted to Snap, Path, and then Snap, Purge. I guess there's, if I wanted to cast everything that I could possibly cast, it could come up. So I'll just play the Sulphur Falls. I think if I need to shock with this Steam Vents after the fact, it's not going to be a problem, considering that I have these Helixes to help with a little life gain. So there's an Inquisition. Really tempted to just Helix, Snap, Helix. Maybe what I want to do actually is, I think what I actually want to do is, let's see, I can Snap target path, because I can't do everything. Actually, I think the right thing to do here is just play out both Snapcaster Mages. Have one target path, have one target purge. And then if he just does nothing, we just use the removal spells on these tokens. Obviously, we'll kill the spirit, we'll kill an elemental, we'll get in with the Thunder Mahalkite, and then also the... Alright. We don't get to kill the spirit. One card in hand. There's probably a good chance it's a Bedlam Reveler. Or perhaps a... I'm still going to just Snap target the Celestial Purge. What I was thinking he might have is the Call Against command to get back Bedlam Reveler. Get rid of this guy. Bolt the opponent. Fire up Colonnade. Attack with Colonnade and Thundermaw. Okay. So I think that board plan worked alright. Yeah, I'm not going to change anything. Just going to keep things the way they are. Now, a turn 1 relic I think would be pretty good. Probably would never crack it unless I really had to, but playing against this Mardu deck as much as I am, I really want to get more relics in my sideboard, like 2, maybe even 3. I think relics the right way to fight fair graveyard decks, and if you can just play a turn on a relic and just use it every single turn, they can get it. They can pull ahead with Faithless Looting, but you're going to make it really difficult for them to cast their Bedlam Revelers. And if you can ever just have a turn or two where they don't dump a bunch of stuff in their graveyard and get it empty, they're just never going to be able to get a lot of value out of their Lingering Souls, and they're never going to be able to get much value out of their Bedlam Revelers. Or they might cast their Bedlam Revelers, but it's going to take forever. And at that point, you just have all the mana in the world to snap, remand, Cryptic Command, something. This hand looks like a keep as well. Sort of in the same sad position with this Flooded Strand, where we really need to decide what is it getting. So next turn I'm going to lead on the Flooded Strand because we don't have an answer to Blood Moon, and if he does play a Blood Moon, I'll need to make a decision about what to get. Probably white. And the reason is white, we have a chance to draw a Celestial Purge or draw a... We might be able to draw a Purge. We might be able to draw a Wear Tear. And if we just draw an island, that's nice, but it doesn't guarantee that we get rid of the Blood Moon. So I think Plains is probably the one to go for, given the chance. Kronos is a good long-term pickup, but we do need to find lands. Speaking of Blood Moon, yeah, so I think it's going to have to be the... Oh, it's so annoying. I think it's going to have to be a Plains. That also gives us more live draws, in that if we get a Plains, we have a chance. We have 2 draws in. We basically have, in order for it not to be so bad, we can either draw 2 islands, which is going to turn on a large portion of our hand, or we have basically 4 draws that can. We have 2 draws that really get us out of this problem, and we have 4 draws total that make it not as bad. The big concern now is, like I said, because like with an island, we can then well, actually we have more because we also have this explosive. So we have 5. Well, we have one of the 5. If we find an island, then this is on. This is our worst answer. Let's play this tap, or doesn't actually. It's not tap because the new rule. Oh, pulling at least 2 cards in hand. Probably going to flash back a Faithless Looting is my guess. If he draws a young Pyromancer, I'm going to use the Lightning Helix. That way, if he ever draws a Bedlam Reveler, right now we don't have an answer to it, but we might be able to Helix and Bolt it. Let's see what he takes here. We still have Thundermaws in our deck, so we can draw lands. I mean, we have cards we can cast. We also have... That was an interesting take. Disdainful Stroke. I guess he's worried that we'll find an island and really worried that he won't be able to resolve a Bedlam Reveler and just won't be able to catch back up. Because if his only play is Inquisition Go, then he's really betting on alright, so that's also good. Fortunately, we don't have a land. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's probably going to be a Bedlam Reveler here. Yeah. Alright, so we obviously want to kill it while we can. Unfortunately, we have to 2-for-1 ourselves. It means that we definitely won't discard next turn. But, we're under a Blood Moon. We kind of have to take what we can get. So we 2-for-1 ourselves. Our opponent draws 3. Great. All right. That's disgusting. What are we discarding? I think just this. Probably just have to discard this Lightning Helix. Of course, that was his draw. How annoying. Or rather, his play. Hold on. He did... okay, he did get back the Bedlam Reveler. I was just making sure. I guess we get to bolt that. So we have 1 token to worry about for the moment. That's nice. Lingering Soul, 2 Lingering Souls in the graveyard. Things are kind of spiraling out of control, though. We are, obviously just not drawing lands and not being able to play anything in our hand is terrible. 2 Blood Moons. Okay, so we're off that idea. I guess I don't really want to path it. Don't really have a choice. I guess it's worth shocking. I wouldn't be surprised if he cracks this right away. Looks like his plan is to put one Lingering Souls in the... He's going to put 2 Spirit Tokens out so that we feel like we're forced to use this Engineered Explosives. While he kind of keeps the other one in reserve. But I'm just going to go and play an Angel here and attack. Hopefully it doesn't have a Terminate. Well, it looks like he does. Saving that for the Thundermaw Hellkite, no doubt. Oh. That was a nice draw. And I have two ways to deal with Lingering Souls tokens, so I am not going to I'm not going to play the Engineered Explosives out on 0. Conveniently though, I can play it out on 3 and take care of both Blood Moons. But I think just getting the Chronos into play is probably the best thing. We don't want to lose that to some hand disruption, and being that we're at 20 life and we're facing down 3 power, Chronos will probably get us out of any situation here. What do we discard? It's a tough decision. Probably the Snapcaster Mage, because we're not going to be getting anything out of our graveyard. Alright, well now we're losing something. This on 3 would have gotten rid of both Blood Moons. I'm probably going to lose. We probably will lose the Engineered Explosives, is my guess. Alright, Celestial Purge. Let's go ahead and shoot. Probably this one. Now, what I really want to do... Oh. Sorry, what I really want to do... What I'd like to do is play Engineered Explosives. But 2 call against commands. I don't know how many they run. I want to play this on 3. Do I even need to? I'll just hold it. Then if next turn I can play it on 3 and get rid of the Blood Moons, I think I will. It's been a long game. Alright, well, I guess it would have been better to just play that at 0. Yeah, that was maybe, I don't know. My worry about just playing it out and not being able... I think maybe the right play was to just play it at 0 and then keep the 2 mana up. Maybe I should be killing these elementals in case we draw Thundermaw actually, because Thundermaw would get rid of all the spirits. God, I wish I just played the EE at 0. Alright, well, I think this game's not going to work out. Yeah, that's for sure what I should have done. I should have just ignored the blood moons and figured, okay, well, we have an island, we have a plains, we don't need to worry about it. Just played it at 0, and then I could have gone ahead and killed the damn. I would have been able to. Anyway. Alright. GG, man. Alright, everybody. My son just woke up, so I need to go anyway. But thank you very much for watching round 2. I will see you guys tomorrow for round 3. Bye for now.